instant Stranger Things kind of vibe. But then there's like I think I'm smelling new gear. I have a feeling that I'm about to receive, some good new gear all the way from abroad. No, it's not China. It's the good stuff. UK, America, and I think East Europe. There's just one way to know for sure, and that is just like calling Andy the Gear Guy, getting a new delivery. Einmal bitte internationales Dreierlei mit Balla Balla. He's coming any second. I think I can hear him. Yeah, sounds heavy. Ooh. I think that's the one from the USA. Let's see what else. He's such a good guy. Like, he finds any kind of gear and just gets it right here to satisfy my gear needs. That's the UK one. Yeah, they always have quality stuff, like the good old classic stuff. Something from Latvia. I was right. I couldn't say which country. And the last one, there's another one. Wow. Okay. So let's maybe start with this one, because I don't know what it is. I mean, who does that? That's kind of gross. Ooh. Wow, that's a surprise. These are so old. These are memory cards. Korg M1 memory cards. These are the cards you put in your Korg M1 to have even more sounds. Got two right here. Korg M1 memory card with strings, marimba, piano, harps, and chorus type sounds. I mean, let's give it a try. Sounds so good. I love the Korg M1. It has so many sounds that you immediately recognize as a Korg M1. And the engineering behind it is brilliant, especially for its time, because it's like one of the oldest synths I actually own here in the studio. I'm lucky. Like, it still looks perfect, brand new. Was never used on a stage, not even a single scratch on it. It's amazing. But yeah, the engineers back then had a problem. They wanted to make something that sounds as natural as like a real instrument as possible, but they didn't have the memory to just sample something. Like sampling a piano, you have to have like a whole lot of samples, like every single note in like different velocities, and then I don't know, the lid open, close, like you get a ton of stuff, like gigabytes worth of samples, which didn't fit into a keyboard back then. So they were smart. They figured out that actually what makes something sound real are the transients. So they sampled transients, got them in there, and combined these transients with like synthesizer generated like decay sustains of sounds, and that combination gives you this like uncanny valley between like a real instrument and not a real instrument. And that's like so typical Korg M1. Absolutely love it. And now I got like almost twice as many sounds in there, which I think is then really enough. Like for strings, it's really good. For like the organ, wait, let me check. Yeah, that organ that everyone knows. What else? Drums are also fine. Some weird sounds, some effect sounds, but everything like very organic. Anyways, next up, let's see. I think this one right here. Oh, that one is already heavier. Whoopsie. It's fine. It's all fine. I shouldn't maybe handle a knife this size. Cable for UK power. Beautiful. This right here is also very legendary. A Neve preamp 1073. it's like that's the one. If you need a preamp, a good one, that's the one you get. Like the typical Neve sound. A friend of mine had 2 of these, used them for years. He sometimes even gave it to me if I needed it. This will be now part of my vocal, or basically everything recording chain. It will go right in here. Oh, I love the click. Perfect. That's like legendary status. And especially, I mean, you probably heard about it. It was all on social media. Rupert Neve, the one originally founding, developing, designing these things, unfortunately passed away a couple of months ago. A real legend, especially when it comes to like studio gear, equipment, shaped an entire area of sound. Yeah, it's kind of nice to have one piece that kind of, I don't know if this one was designed by him or like it's based on the original design of him, but something like with the Neve name on it here in the studio. Next up. Zen Delay. This one also very special by Erica Synths. A friend of mine saw that I like got the Moog right there, and he was like, you have to get that delay. He said it's like the perfect combination out of all of the stuff he has in his studio, and his studio has way more gear than mine. He said, you can take everything away from me, but that Zen Delay, I just would love to keep. He especially pointed out that, wait, let's get it out of the box. Ooh. It's nice that like the drive you can add, the saturation that it generates is outstanding and not redoable, recreatable in any kind of plugin. He talked about it for like 20 minutes. So here it is. I'll test it. I'll review it probably in the next coming days, give you more insights of it. And let's actually fire it up really quick. Okay, I get it. This is wow. Wow. It's cool. It's amazing. I just need also to hook it up with MIDI so it can get like the tempo, so I can tempo sync it if I want to. Let's do the last one, which is the biggest, the heaviest. And I also think, yeah, it's also the most expensive. And I also have to say the one I was looking forward to the most. Ordered it a while ago and finally arrived. It's actually the last missing piece for the studio right here. It's also the last piece I will get. It's probably very likely maybe the last piece for the studio right here. I promised my girlfriend. You see, I've like an interface here with like 16 ins and out mono, and I told her once they're full, I'm not going to get anything else, and I will stick to that promise. Because if I break that promise, I have to buy her a handbag, and that will be quite expensive. So it's the last missing piece. It's an epic piece of equipment. So without further ado, let's open it up. This thing right here is an instant classic. I just had to have it. It's always been my favorite synthesizer ever since. I always, of course, just used the plugin version of the OBX, which is fantastic. So I know everything about it, how it behaves, but the real deal, this new version that is a collaboration of 2 of the biggest synthesizer legends ever, is a dream. I just played around with it a little. It sounds fantastic, really. Like there's a lot of debate between plugins and like the real analog deal. Trust me, I was always like, it doesn't really matter for me. Analog synths are more like you can touch them, turn, twist knobs, and record it kind of thing that improves your workflow. But this one right here proves that there's still some magic to the sound, actually. Absolute beast. Like, I like just like the sound of it. Instant Stranger Things kind of vibe. But then there's like Unison. It's like someone is like spitting in your face with raw goodness. And then, for example, we could just like play a chord. Maybe an octave higher. There's like a hold function. Frees up your hands, and makes even more sense if you turn on the ARP. It's fun. It's so much fun. I will play now around with it for at least an hour, maybe even 2, maybe save some presets that I can come up with, maybe already record something into the computer. Feel very, very inspired and very, very hyped. This is such a joy. Wow. It's way too much fun. Like, and all of the presets sound amazing. Like there are maybe out of 10, there's maybe 1 where I'm like, that's not maybe really something I would use. But 9 is like where I instantly get inspired to tweak it a little and have something that I could actually use for my songs. Like, for example, this sound right here, I recorded it into the sequencer chords. I added like a delay, so it's like you have like twice the chord right after each other, and the cutoff just to open up. It's fun. Like, I really love it. The structure is pretty simple. It's amazing how many sounds you can get out of like just like 2 oscillators, but there is actually like a sub oscillator, so it's kind of 3 or 2.5, and like it can generate almost every kind of sound that I want, like bass, leads, pads, especially pads. Love it. Can't wait to integrate it into my workflow. Can't wait to finish the first songs using it. Even thinking about replacing some of the sounds in my current songs with this beast right here. Whew. It's just like, it's stealing a little too much time. I played around way too long with this. Also, since you can save presets with it, like there are 999 or 1,000 presets. The first 500 you can edit. The second 500 is just fixed and they're doubled. So they start with like every preset being there twice, which I really like. That's very intelligent. And yeah, the studio, that's it. It won't change for quite a time. I promised Andy, the gear guy, today, since it was an overdose with the gear, that I'll back down a little. So no more gear for a while. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely need a stand. Like, the situation right now, it's too messy. I mean, like, I need something right there, probably like 2 or 3 on top of each other. And yeah, if you have any suggestion, let me know. And now it's just time to call it a day. It's already quite late. I'll go back home, probably watch like 5 or 6 more videos explaining more about the synth. Maybe even take the manual with me. And that's kind of what I do in my off time. I learn more stuff that has to do with my job. which I absolutely enjoy. It's a joy every single day. So tune in for tomorrow's episode. No more gear. Something else. Maybe using all of it and creating a new song from scratch. Let's see.